Bombas makes the most comfortable socks, underwear, and T-shirts.
Warning, Bombas are so absurdly comfortable you may throw out all your other clothes.
Sorry, do we legally have to say that?
No, this is just how I talk, and I really love my Bombas.
They do feel that good. And they do good, too. One item purchased equals one item donated. To feel good and do good, go to bombas.com and use code AUDIO for 20% off your first purchase. That's BOMBAS.com and use code AUDIO at checkout.
Mr. Gecko, you're a huge inspiration to us all, but who was your muse?
My dear old Nan. She would tell me, always remember to be true to yourself and to use that fast and friendly claim support on the Geico app. I follow her advice to this day.
Get more than just savings. Get more with Geico.
I think it's fair to say that this podcast is not like any other podcast.
That's very fair to say. You know, to this day, people ask me what it's about, and I go, well,
It's about, is a shrew a frog? Answer the question.
Getting to the bottom of the top questions, such as, what's the moon made out of? It's Text Me Back podcast.
We're back.
We have given you so many dope beats to step to. And here's another one. Welcome to Text Me Back podcast. I'm Connor Blades.
And I'm his friend, Justin.
I'm so glad I know about him. Do you think he was lying about finding that snake, or do you think he genuinely believed he rediscovered it?
I don't know. You could lie about it. You could say, I rediscovered the tiny snake, just to get your name in the news and be like, it disappeared again.
And with a name like Connor Blades, why wouldn't you want to get it in the news?
Yeah.
Hello.
Huh. Maybe. Okay. I'm learning a little bit about science.
They're going to change the name of the snake to Blades Aconda.
Yes. And meanwhile, I'm going to open up my encyclopedia of snakes, find a snake that has gone missing, and I'm going to rediscover it. But my rock. My phone battery died. So I can't take a picture of it, but it was there for sure.
Sorry, National Geographic.
Please write a profile of me in sciencealert.com.
And ConnorBladesMagazine.com.
Then step 2, ? Step 3, profit.
I think actually either step 2 or step 3 is find your friend Justin. And then
right. I can't do it without my friend Justin.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, welcome to another illustrious episode of Text Me Back podcast. I was going to be like, we don't have any guests, but we kind of do. Stay tuned to find out what I mean.
Yeah.
Because
that's right. But I do feel like this is the first real episode, like return to Text Me Back podcast, because it does feel very different when we have guests. And last week we had 2 guests, Jesse Klein, Liz Feldman, who were amazing.
Well, yeah, I mean, you got to figure out the vibe. Are we about to be besties? Which I think we are. I think so. Four best friends in a room. But, you know, it's like having a party. Well, it's just like what we talked about. Like, are we going to glom on this episode of Text Me Back podcast? And I think we glommed pretty successfully, but you never know.
If we were at a party, and none of us knew anyone, we would glom. If we were at a party where they had a bunch of friends there, do you think that they would reject our glom?
I think the glomming would be reduced. Can I say something? I don't know if this is just me and my particular neurons, but I have this thing where if I've only met somebody over like video chat or Zoom or whatever, I am convinced they have no idea who I am if we meet in person. Yes. And maybe that's just projecting because I no longer can identify friend from foe if I only met them on Zoom. So there is this part of me where I'm like, if I met either of those people in person, I would be like, hello? Just in the absolute convinced truth that they would have no idea who I am, even though we just spent like 2 hours talking to each other on the podcast app.
You know why, Megan?
Why?
And this is actually a toxic thing about you that you need to work on. You identify people by their boobs.
I do. And
instead
I
of their faces.
See them on here. I can't see the bazungas.
So
over Riverside. Something to think about, riverside.com if you're listening. More bazungas. Please.
Widen the frame.
Bigger boobies for business women. Anyway, on today's show, we are going to tide some more because we didn't really tide too much. And also, I wasn't prepared with a tiding, so my tiding was stupid. And in fact, I don't even remember what it was.
It was not stupid. It was that you were watching Taskmaster.
Oh, sorry. It wasn't stupid. It was actually really good.
Really important.
That episode, Where We Are in Space and Time, that episode hasn't aired yet. So if you have written in to me to tell me about Taskmaster, I don't know about it yet. But thank you in advance if you did. However, we're going to tie it again because one, Lindy has a vole update.
A further update beyond the fact that the vole is a shrew.
And we're bringing back a beloved segment that we've only done once, and thus it has no theme song, but we'll probably play something stupid out of the media board anyways.
We've done it twice.
We have?
Yeah, because there was the time when I did cream cheese frosting, and then it almost ended my friendship with Jessie May, knitting celebrity Jessie May. And then we did it again with the moms. That's right. So sorry. My brain don't work. She don't need to work. She's too pretty.
She's too beautiful to have brains.
She wasn't born to brain.
She wasn't born to brain. Maybe she's brains with it. Maybe it's Maybelline. Anyway, so we're gonna have a special guest for. Do we do 2 minutes or 1 minute? Wow, tell me anything about the show.
Here's what I can tell you. I think. Okay. I have two theories. Okay. One, we started it as 1 minute hate, decided that wasn't long enough, and switched to 2 minutes hate.
Yeah.
Theory number two, the opposite. We decided it was too long and switched it to 1.
It just strikes me that like 2 minutes is the perfect amount because no one can speak only for 1 minute. That's madness. But 2 minutes does contain our worst impulses. So I think we do 2 minutes hate. Now, if we had a theme song, I wouldn't have to guess.
That's right.
So
get it together, people.
So we're going to do that. And then we're going to end the show because we're sleepy.
But with lots of other talkings in between, don't worry.
There'll be lots of other talkings in between. And by the way, one of the reasons that we're recording twice in 1 week is because you'll never guess, we have another guest coming next week. And so we're recording with them this week so that they'll show up in your feed next week. But trust me, it's worth it because this person rocks.
PretapedCollinsShow.com.
PretapedCollinsShow.com. I don't know what day it is, and I don't know what day you're hearing this. I don't know who I am.
I like your polo shirt, though.
Thanks. You know, it's a cropped polo shirt, so it's a little bit like bad.
Yeah.
It's a polo shirt for bad girls.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is a normal way for a 40-year-old woman to talk about her outfits. But that's not my tiding. Hang on, let me cue up the Jimmy Jam.
I think I should go first because it sounds like yours is really exciting, and mine is short and not. I mean, mine's exciting, but not like yours. Yours sounds like a blockbuster. I don't know what it is, but I can read you pretty good. And the way that you told me you have a tiding, I was like,
this is one of those rare moments where something happened to me and I did not text you about it because I was like, if I want to talk about this on the show, I want it to be a surprise. So you don't know this one.
I cannot wait. Okay.
Are you ready? Well, first we play the song. Otherwise, we're not able to open the tidings.
Hit it.
Lindy?
Oh, first of all, this is just neither here nor there, but the anxiety is high today. I'm having like a very spiked, very bad, not normal anxiety feeling, such as like I took too much of my medicine, but I didn't take any of my medicine. So it's not that.
Maybe it is that. You didn't take any of your medicine. Something to think about.
I did also have 2 graham crackers with frosting.
End of sentence.
Because I made a Hama cake for his birthday and there was extra frosting. And look, I wasn't raised during the Depression, but I think generationally I've absorbed the Great Depressions. I think I have the trauma and also the attitude toward wasting frosting.
Yeah.
And I think that's real. Mm-hmm. And so if you have leftover frosting, you have to put it in a Tupperware and then you have to spread it on 2 graham crackers.
That's right. Was part of the New Deal.
Yes.
Passed and signed into law by Franklin Delano Roosevelt.
And then you have to, what is the deal with that, by the way?
The Great Depression, the New Deal?
No. What's the deal with Delano? And then you married Delano.
It's so funny. I was just thinking that because I was watching Taskmaster and they had to make their very own Mount Rushmore. And some of them took it literally and just made the Mount Rushmore, out of other stuff. And they're like, oh, who's on it? Lincoln, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, none of these British people are going to get Teddy Roosevelt. And then I was like, Theodore Delano Roosevelt. And I was like, no, Teddy was not Delano. And then I was like, now who the fuck is Delano? Who the hell is that?
What is a Delano? And then your wife's name is Delanor, minus the D. Silent
Parentheses D. Eleanor.
Well, because it always seems like you're Franklin, you're French, you're Franklin Delano.
Like, Eleanor.
Exactly. Roosevelt.
But they were cousins, no? Eleanor and Franklin.
So is she Eleanor Delanor?
I think she's Eleanor. I think she's Eleanor Roosevelt. She started out Eleanor Roosevelt and then stayed Eleanor Roosevelt? Oh, is that true? I'm going to look it up.
She's a great woman and we don't question it.
You know what this is giving?
What?
Karl Marx is
German? I like it. Hey, you want to know why I'm allowed to talk about the Great Depression? Why I earned it?
Yes.
My father was born when Delano was prez.
Oh my God, that's true. And by the way, she was born Anna Eleanor Roosevelt, and then she did not have to change her last name because they were cousins. Kissing cousins. Anyways, what's your tiding? I don't think it's Eleanor Roosevelt, but it might be.
No, it's not Eleanor Roosevelt, and it's not that I have anxiety from eating too much frosting. It's that.
Why isn't this show more popular? It doesn't make any sense.
It actually doesn't make any sense because let me tell you, Meagan, I like to listen back to our episodes. Sometimes when I'm on a long drive, I will pick one at random and I laugh, Meagan. I laugh.
Meagan.
Oh, boy,
Meagan.
So, no, my tiding is this. I have a vole update.
Yes.
First of all, it's canon now. Mm-hmm. A vole is a shrew.
Correct.
All shrews are voles.
Mm-hmm.
All voles are shrews. Even though, you know what, they're not actually related. Did you know that a shrew is not a rodent?
Pardon me?
Pardon moi?
What is it then? A frog? A fucking amphibian? What do you mean?
It's a different little funny guy. It's more closely related to a mole, which is also
not a rodent?
Not a rodent.
What?
Yeah, it's just a different mammal. I think it's maybe more like a koala, more like. I don't know, Meagan. I don't know.
You know what this is like? This is like when they said Pomeranians have more in common with huskies than like bigger dogs do with huskies. That's why you should never disrespect Pomeranians.
That's right. They'll freaking mush your ass. So a shrew is not a rodent. However, they do carry a disease in their corkscrew-shaped poop that can pass to humans.
Oh, so God.
He can't come back. It's a good thing that we got this shrew out of this house. However, Meagan, name a high number.
37.
Okay, it's not that high, but subtract 31 from that. I mean, 32. And what do you get?
That's how many shrews you got?
Meagan, we caught five shrews, Meagan.
And we're absolutely sure it's not the same guy 5 times.
No, but it would be crazy if it was. It would mean that as soon as we released him in the woods, he beelined back to the house. I think it's more likely that a mamacita shrew made a litter of shrews in the house.
Babysitters.
A mommy and made babies. And now the good news is, after the first 5 shrews, we have not caught any more shrews, nor seen any more shrews.
Okay.
But the bad news is, stopped resetting the shrew traps.
Oh,
so
who knows?
Who knows? It's kind of like with COVID-19. If you never take a test, you never
test positive.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, sure. Is the foundation of your cabin mostly shrew?
Yeah.
Baby nests?
Yeah.
Is that your problem? No.
Debatable.
Fine. Debatable.
Fine.
I guess we'll find out.
Yeah. So, no, I'm declaring this a shrew-free home.
Yep. Problem solved.
Problem solved. Because here's the thing, to reset the traps, the problem is that when the shrews get caught, they get very stressed.
Yeah.
And they take corkscrew-shaped shits all over the frickin' inside of the trap. And then you have to power wash the trap.
Yeah.
And
it's a really tiny
tiny hose.
Mm-hmm.
And so instead of that, what I decided to do was just set the traps outside and forget and pretend they didn't exist.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
So if you have any information on shrews that you'd like to share with me, such as, are they frogs? And are they dangerous?
Somebody wrote in, or somebody left a comment on Spotify that you should name the vole Kim Booster, and I can't believe you didn't think of that. So,
wow,
yeah,
I feel horrible.
Yeah, you really actually fucked up. You really did a lot of harm, and I'm calling you in. Me and the commenter.
I will be releasing a Notes app statement. Okay, Vole Kim Booster and your sister Joel Kim Shrewster.
She's back, baby. Delete the Notes app apology because she's back.
And the tiny Barbados snake whose Christian name is Bowen Fang.
I was going to say Connor Blades Jr., but that's good too.
Well, anyway, there's so many animals in the world, and someday we'll name them all. And that's my tiding. Voles are shrews, and the shrews are 5 minimum.
And neither of them are rodents, apparently.
No, I think voles are rodents. Okay,
who could say?
Don't go crazy.
Who could say at this point?
Only Connor Blades.
Only Connor Blades knows. Anyway, here's my tiding.
Oh my God, I can't wait. I'm so excited.
Okay, so here's the situation. I have been, I have high A1C, which has forced me to become a gym person.
Yeah, you're a gym shrew, they call it.
I'm a gym shrew. That's what they say. Yeah. So that's what I've been doing. But then I was like, you know what I kind of miss doing is a little Pilates. I like to get on that little reformer and scoot all around, zoom all around on that little carriage. It's fun. So there's a little local business in my neighborhood. It's a little Pilates studio. And I was like, okay, this is great. I'll support this local biz and work on my little muscles. And as Mr. Cole would say, if you're skinny, then use your little muscles. That's what he said. That's what he said. I know. I'm just telling you what I heard. Anyway, so I was like, this will be nice. I'll support this little business. I'll get my little Pilates on. It'll be great. And really right away, it was just really very deeply chaotic series of events at this studio. There was one instructor in particular who was very chaotic, but, I would say chaotic good-ish.
Sure.
She was just being deranged, but it wasn't negatively impacting me in any way. But she had a tendency to make some inappropriate comments about her husband and her dating life and stuff. And I just thought that was me being sensitive because as a famously sex negative person,
sure.
I hate that stuff. But I'm just well, I don't know. This is the Sex and the City generation. You can talk about whatever you want. It's none of my business. So I was like, whatever. This isn't really my cup of tea, but she's not doing anything harmful. And then, one day I go in there and by the way, while this is happening, a bunch of classes have been canceled for various reasons. And they didn't communicate that to me. So I was just showing up and no one was there. And I was like, okay. And
Dude,
then
can I interrupt to say, sometimes when people lament the death of cute mom and pop businesses and the rise of corporations, I agree. And
I agree.
Sometimes I'm like, well, however, the grocery store is open.
Yeah. So
sorry.
I don't know. Gold's Gym is open when they say. I don't know. I don't know what else to do. And also this other thing was happening where, and again, I just thought this was me being a little bit of a narcissist, because I would go in there and she'd be like, "What's your name?" Like she never remembered me, and then she would she would ask me the same stuff over and over again, and she would tell me the same stuff over and over again. Like we would have the same conversations over, like, "Where'd you get that tattoo? I love that tattoo. Where'd you get that one?" It's like, so stuff where she was like, that feels a little identifiable to me, but whatever. Yeah. We're all on our own brain journeys, so it's fine. Then one day she's like telling everybody, she's like, "Oh my God, you guys, I feel amazing. Like, I finally got off my psychiatric meds." And I was like, "Oh, okay, that's nice. Keep me posted, Angel." And she's like,
I thought you were going to say that she was actually 5 identical shrews, and you just thought it was the same shrew.
Like stacked up in a pair of aloe leggings. Yeah. Subscribe to the Goop newsletter. It was crazy.
But switching out the top shrew. And so you're talking to one that hadn't seen your tattoos
exactly.
yet.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, and then she's like telling everybody that she's off her meds and she feels incredible because her meds made her feel so bad. And I don't want to make a judgment about anyone's psychiatric medication journey at all. It's just that I don't know this woman. Right. And I hate to say it, but I don't care. Right. You know what I mean? Like, I really just want to push the carriage back and forth with my butt muscle. That's all I really want to do. Yeah. And because I'm going through multiple journeys too. And you wouldn't know that, would you? Because it's none of your fucking business. Do you know what I mean?
Interesting. Yeah.
Like, it's not, why would I tell you about that?
You know who doesn't ask any questions? The TV screen at Gold's Gym.
Not a one time has that thing ever asked me a question.
No.
Not once. You know, and she's talking about how she was on schizophrenia medication and all this other medication. And I just was like, oh, wow, I am learning so much about this lady. I don't care for this. And so that was like one class.
One thing about you really hate learning about people that you didn't request it.
I didn't. I am almost never requesting more information. Yeah. I think I don't know if this makes sense, but my issue is I already know enough people.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I don't want to be rude and standoffish, but it's like, please don't make me. Ugh.
Yeah.
I'm barely hanging on, man. I don't know when my nephew's birthday is, dog.
Talk to a trusted friend.
Please don't tell me about this.
I'm paying to be here.
Literally paying $35 per class to be here. Don't make me know this. Please. I beg. Oh, yeah. And she kept asking me where I got my workout clothes from. And I was like, oh, Old Navy. And she's like, oh, they weirdly have good stuff. But, I'm so bougie. I only dress my kids in couture. And I was like, okay.
Couture?
Yeah. I was like, kids.
Doesn't couture mean that they hand sewed it in France?
Hello? So maybe she just meant Lululemon, which is not couture.
I don't think so.
Expensive fast fashion, but that's fine. Anyways, so that was one class. I come back a different week, and the energy is off in the studio immediately, and she's like going on this whole rant about how her husband only ever sexts her, and she's sick of the meat mail, and I was like, meat mail? Oh God. And then I was like, no, this is going beyond Cosmos with my girlfriend's Sex in the City. So, like, this is actually vulgar, right? Do we all agree?
Your girlfriend.
I know her. I barely remember what her name is, dog.
Oh my God.
Like, if I don't know your birthday, don't tell me no shit about your husband's wiener, dude.
No way.
And so I was like, oh my God. But I thought it was just regular chaos from her. And I was like, I'm just going to tune it out. And again, push this little carriage with my butt muscle because I paid to be here, dude. Then she starts going on this whole thing about how much she hates the studio and she hates owning a small business and she's so in debt because she had to spend $30,000 to get the website fixed and the website looks like shit. And you want to know why? Because no one in the pictures is doing the move correctly because none of you are listening to me. And it was like, she just started like hulking out and I was like, what the fuck is going on? I was like, oh God. And then she starts nitpicking everybody in the class. She's like, you are not listening to me. None of you are listening to me. I told you to do this with your legs and you're not doing it. And I was like, and I'm just like pushing back and forth on my little carriage, like, what is happening? And she's like,
can I ask a question?
Yes.
But feel free to just ignore if it's stepping on your story. I feel like there's inside Megs are two wolves.
Yes.
There's the wolf who will not stand for that and will leave, but there's the wolf who will stay for the story.
Yeah. And there was a third wolf where I was trying to be like, do people want me to do that? Like I was really trying to like do a temp check and be like, are ladies? How are we feeling about this?
Are we doing an uprising?
Yeah.
Or
like, I don't want to pop off if that was not requested, to a certain degree. Like, because the main wolf in me that day was, oh, hell fucking no. Because actually, people don't talk to me that way. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, and actually, if I'm being honest, the idea of the story, of like staying for the story didn't really come up for me. Here was the make or break point for me. So then she's like doing hands-on corrections for people. And let me just say one thing. She kept saying, you're not following my cues. I am giving cues and you're not following my cues. And so two things about that. One is I always perceive Pilates as like, you don't really have to follow the cues as long as you're not doing something that will hurt you. Yeah. Like if you want to like modify something for your own skill level, that's usually fine. And she seemed to be getting pissed off because people were doing modifications and not that they were doing something wrong / dangerous. So I was like, seems like a severe overreaction for what's going on in here. And
here's what I'll say. If you pay to take a class, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, eat shit.
You know what I mean? You can sit on the machine and eat shit.
For all I care, you fucking weirdo. Anyway, and second of all, what cues are you giving? Because you have spent this whole class talking about your husband's meat mail and how we're all stupid and don't listen. You have not, your cues have been doo-doo pants this whole class. So now you're all mad at everyone because we're not doing what you said, even though what you said was, I'm sick of the meat mail and I hate owning a small business. I'm $200,000 in debt. Does anyone want to buy my Pilates studio for $1 million? I'm off my medication, by the way. And I was like, now what part of that was move your leg to the left? Like, what the fuck is going on? It was crazy. So here's what really put the wolves at loggerheads within me. She's like doing hands-on adjustments for this person on the end. And she's really picking on that one woman in particular. And she just keeps being like, Caroline, that's not right. You're not doing it right. And she like physically moved her foot, like pushed it where it was supposed to go, supposedly. And this girl just gets off the reformer and just goes, I'm trying, but I don't know what you want me to do. And then she bursts into tears, dude, in the middle of class. And just the silence of everyone's reformer carriage grinding to a halt, where we all were like, oh my God. And I turned to the girl next to me and I was like, what the fuck? And she goes, I want to leave. And I said, I think the door is locked. And she goes, oh no.
Oh my God.
Because this Pilates studio is on a really busy street. And so they lock it when you're in class so people don't come in and steal your stuff. And I was like, it's going to be a whole to do to get out of here. But the door locked. So I was like, I guess we're locked in here with this cuckoo bananas woman. And so this lady is crying. And the instructor is like, don't cry. I'm just upset. It's not your fault. It's just been so stressful. Please let me hug you. And she's like going in for the hug. And then she's like really love bombing her to try to get her forgiveness for making her cry. In the meantime, we've just been doing an arm lift on the right for like 15 minutes. I have like the strongest right shoulder of anyone you've ever met. Cause we're all just like, what? Lift, pulsing. And no one wanted to say anything that we'd already done that side like 2 times because she was so violently angry. So it was very wild. The girl decided to stay and she stopped crying. And I was like, can I get you a tissue? And she's like, it's okay, I have a towel. And then after class, I caught up with Caroline, the crying girl. And I was like, are you okay? I've never seen anything like that before. And she was like, yeah, I know. I've been in a bunch of her classes. I know her really well. She's usually chaotic, but not like that. And I didn't know how to snap her out of her negativity. So I just started crying.
It was strategic.
Like, did a strategic weep. And I was like, there is a pathology in white women that I just find so fascinating. like white ladies are so
diabolical.
They're so crazy. I was like, you started crying on purpose?
Ooh.
Hey, Caroline, you little freakazoid. You say everything. And then a bunch of us were all talking to her after. And it turns out one of the girls in the class, it was her first class ever.
Oh, no.
Then I bumped into another girl after and I was like, hey, I'm just checking in. Like, are you okay? Like, and she was like, yeah, I've never seen her like that before. And it just felt, it was really kind of sad because more than one woman said this after. They're just like, I go there to like relax and have a nice time. It's safe. And she just made me feel really unsafe. And I was like, yeah, I'm sorry. And then she was like, I talked to her after. I talked to the instructor after. And then she burst into tears, the classic white lady scenario. You love to see it. And she's like, I don't want people to be mad at me. Do you think people are mad at me?
Yes.
And the girl was like, yes, I do. I think that you were really inappropriate today.
Yeah.
And so she was like, she's like, well, I might reach out to Caroline and apologize. And this other girl was like, you should reach out to everyone and apologize.
Yeah.
Which she did not do, but she did send me a free class. I have not returned to her class.
That's the last thing that I would want.
Because I don't hate myself.
Yeah.
But basically what was going through my mind was, I want to leave. I just want to be like, you're being inappropriate and like, this is not acceptable. Yeah. But I just got the sense that was not what was wanted from the victim.
Right.
In that moment. So I was trying to be empathetic to her. And I asked her afterwards, I was like, I don't normally just tolerate stuff like that, but I wasn't sure. I don't know you very well. So I wasn't sure what you wanted me to do. And she was like, oh, that's why I started crying. She was like, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to end it by doing strategic crying. And I was like, cool. Because I was going to yell at her and potentially kick her ass. Also that day, picture your classic Pilates instructor, and that's what this person looks like. And while we were doing this, after she got the girl to cry, and then she was trying to win us back over by being really nice, but she was like really overdoing it. So she does this thing that's like, she's like walking through and she's like, you guys all look so beautiful. Like your bodies are so beautiful. Ugh. Like she's like, my body is disgusting. But like watching all of you guys is so gorgeous because your bodies are just, and she was trying to do a compliment, but it just was like, I'm bigger than you. We all are because you're a Pilates instructor. It just was like, don't stand there and be like, I'm wretchedly fat and disgusting, but you're all beautiful when we all know what everyone in this room looks like. I mean, I don't know how to say it, but it just was very uncomfortable, really weird, very bizarre. It just was like, okay, you have a good one, babe. I'm a head out.
Are there people where like they like to hear other people hate their own bodies? Like, I don't feel like that is ever what I'm looking for.
No.
Is for someone else to be like, aren't I gross? I'm not like, yum, 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 yum.
I think that if I had to guess, just based on my own experience with unbalanced narcissists, I think that they want you to feel bad for them. Like they know that they've gone too far. And so they do this like self-deprecation that is so extreme that it induces people to be like, no, you're beautiful. Like, don't say that. I think that's what she was angling for. But I just remember looking at her like, no, I'm not engaging with whatever this is. This is fucking gross. Yeah.
That's like when you threatened to quit the show and then I say, Meagan, you really don't like doing the show.
And I say, I really don't.
Yeah, actually, you don't fall for it. I want you to say, no, Lindy, I love doing the show. The show is my favorite thing to do. And instead you don't. You don't.
I learned from the master. So that's my tiding. I for the record, I had 2 classes, including the free one that she gave me. And I was like, I'm not going to waste the class. So I did go back, but not to her class. I went back to a different person's class. I've used up my passes. And now I feel free to leave a Google review about it. So
good. Yeah.
And
Get 'em.
that's what we got up to on our break. And when we return, we're going to be angry about something else for 2 minutes only.
Only because we keep it positive around here. Welcome back to Text Me Back podcast.
Oh, welcome back. Yeah, sorry. I have the Wikipedia page open for mole. I'm still trying to figure out what a mole is.
Yeah.
I think it's a mammal.
It's just a mammal. It's not a rodent, and it's not a frog.
Not a frog. I guess that's what they're saying. I don't know.
What are we doing here, Meagan? It's time for our second segment.
It's time for our second segment that we're calling 2 minutes hate. That's right. That's the number of minutes that we're allowed to hate per day.
Yep.
We, again, do not have a theme song for this segment.
We don't have a theme song for this segment. Hint,
Hello.
hint. Bing bong.
Hello. Lindy and I are each going to offer a 2 minutes hate, but first, we have a special guest who has been holding on to this hate for, I want to say, an entire month. Because you texted me, being like, this person wants to come on the show to do 2 minutes hate. And I was like, can he maintain his anger about it for 1 month because we're on vacation? Or should he record it now and we can just play it later?
And I checked with this person and he said, I will let the hate fester. And also already been holding on to this hate for several years, which I'm sure you'll hear about.
The hater is
the czar of sound force of Text Me Back podcast. Here to give us 2 minutes hate.
2-ish minutes.
Sometimes the hate can't be contained in 2 minutes. And why should we hide our light under a bushel, you know?
I know, totally.
Because of a game we made up? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Ahamefale, welcome to the show.
All right, please let us know whomst it is that you hate. In 3, 2, 1. Hate.
Okay, so my hate is a very serious hate for Neil deGrasse Tyson. Now, this is not one of those things where it's like a celebrity thing and I don't like some celebrity thing that he did. This is a personal thing about multiple things that he did to me. And I'm very, very mad about them. And so I'm going to try and get as much as I can in the time allotted. So the thing that happened recently is, so I have a stage show called The Things Around Us that I've been touring. And there's a joke in that show where I talk about Neanderthals. And the joke basically is, remember how we used to say that Neanderthals were stupid? And then we discovered through genetic sequencing that white people were part Neanderthal. And then suddenly there are all these documentaries about how smart Neanderthals were. And so that's a joke in the show. And then I was on Instagram, and shortly after my show was in New York, I saw some clip of Neil deGrasse Tyson's podcast where he talked about that exact same premise in very much the same language that I used on stage. Maybe it's a coincidence, but I wrote that joke years ago and I have not heard other people talk about it. And then suddenly I have my show in New York and then Neil deGrasse Tyson is using very much the same language that I do and not doing as good a job. Now, this would be one thing if I didn't already have a history with Neil deGrasse Tyson. The thing with Neil deGrasse Tyson is it's almost poetic because I wrote a perfect joke about Neil deGrasse Tyson years ago. And that joke was then published in a magazine. And then Neil deGrasse Tyson was on a podcast and someone told him the joke that I wrote about him. And he said that it was a bad joke. Ooh. He said it was not a good joke, which is not true. So the irony of him stealing one of my jokes after years ago, he said one of my, now he doesn't know who I am. He didn't know I'm sure someone who works for his podcast saw my show or something like that and was like, here's a thing that you can talk about for the 9 hours a day that you have to be on your podcast. Okay. But the thing is, I told a perfect joke about him. It got published in a magazine. He got told, and he didn't just say, he said it was a bad joke, like implying that the construction was poor or something like that. And And I'm going to share the joke with you right now. And I don't think you've heard the joke.
I'm not sure. I don't think so.
So you have to agree that it's a perfect joke, and it's definitely not a bad joke. And the joke is, what do you call Neil deGrasse Tyson pouring champagne all over his naked chest?
I don't know.
An astrophysicist.
Well, per the contract, it's a perfect joke.
It is a perfect joke. And the thing is, I think that he was like insulted by it. Like I was insulting him. Because the thing is, the joke's not about him. It's not everything's about you. If it was the 70s, it would be Carl Sagan. But he worked for the joke for the time being, for the perfectly constructed joke. And then he said it was bad. And then years later, he stole one of my jokes. So I hate him, and all I'm asking is that everyone else in the world also hate him.
I think that they will. Yeah, I think you've made a very compelling case.
That's time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Or you could keep talking.
Well, Neil deGrasse Tyson, if you're listening, eat shit. I don't think he's listening. Thank you, Aham.
Thank you for allowing me this time.
We'll let you know if he writes in.
Boo, Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Boo, Neil deGrasse Tyson. Eat shit, fucker.
Eat shit, fucker. Eat freeze-dried astronaut ice shit.
Eat Dippin' Dot shit.
So it is, if you want to continue to be a listener of the podcast, it is unfortunately now required that you make the pledge to hate Neil deGrasse Tyson forever.
Sorry. He's a creep, though, so it's fine. Don't worry about it.
We got to avenge our czar of sound force.
Absolutely. Lindy, would you like to get into it with the thing that you hate?
Okay.
All right, I have my timer.
Oh, okay, great.
Lindy West, what do you hate? In 3, 2, 1. Hate.
I hate my own thought that it was a good idea to stop putting cream in my coffee. I hate that idea. It was a bad idea. It wasn't a good idea. And I only did it because sometimes having a bunch of dairy gives me diarrhea. And then I was thinking to myself, is diarrhea so bad? I get to look at my phone. No, I get to look at my phone. I get to have a little bit of me time. It just, it just takes up a small fraction of the day. Now, it's not great if you have something to do, but on my days off, I should be allowed to put cream in my coffee and have diarrhea. And it's not that big a deal, okay? And I don't know who I thought I was telling me that I can't have cream in my coffee. I hate the woman that did that to me. She was wrong. She should be sorry. The amount of pleasure that cream in my coffee brings me is greater than the amount of displeasure I get from having to have diarrhea. Therefore, simple math equation. Keep the coffee creamy. Keep it coming. Keep the creamer coming into this girl's mornings, and then she'll have a rosy morning and a beautiful day ahead. And
I don't know if I feel good or bad about this, but you still have like over 30 seconds.
Well, great. Then I want to say, is there one kind of pooping that's better or worse than another kind?
No.
And look, am I being a little bit disingenuous here? Because part of it wasn't actually about a tummy ache. It was about feeling sort of wretched and rancid in general. And I haven't figured that part out yet. So the jury's out, but still I think that it was evil to tell myself to not put cream in my coffee. Thank you.
And scene. Okay. Wow. Where to begin? Where to begin? There are absolutely worse kinds of pooping than other kinds. And one of them's diarrhea, bud.
But I get to look at my phone.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus.
When I'm out and about in the house in the middle of the workday, and I sit and look at my phone, other people might see me and they might think, wow, Lindy's not doing her work. But if I'm in the privacy, well, the phantom in my head is saying it. If in the privacy of the bathroom, no one knows if you're on your phone.
Yeah.
So it's a kind of freedom that I crave. And now, are you ready with your 2 minutes hate? I can't wait to hear this one.
Yeah.
Because you've really been on a roll today.
I hope I didn't oversell it.
You did. And I'm going to be disappointed. Okay.
Yeah, you are.
Okay. Ready?
Yes.
In 3. Wait, really quick. Remember earlier before we started when you said, "Oh, maybe we have the same one." And then mine was pro diarrhea.
I can't believe I was wrong about that.
Okay, ready? Ready to go?
Yes.
Are you ready? In 3, 2, 1, hate.
I hate Donald Trump, and I know what you're thinking. Oh, Meagan, that's such a cop-out. Everybody hates Donald Trump. He's a stupid bitch. Yeah, it's true, he is. But here's why I hate him, and I know we've talked about this on the show, too. But where we are in space and time, this man just climbed up to the top of the White House and took a little walk around in the circle on the fucking roof. The press corps was down below yelling, "Mr. President, what are you doing up there?" And then he shouts back, "I'm going for a little walk." And then the press says, "Why?" He never answered the question. And here's why I hate it. I've never laughed harder in my life. I've never laughed harder in my life than the president of the United States doddering around on the fucking roof of the White House for no reason. Okay. And by the way, then they were like, "Hello, why are you up there?" And he's like, "Nuclear weapons." He's just on the roof of the White House yelling, "Huh? What? Nuclear weapons. Having a little walk." Absolutely, this man can't pass a dementia test. He can't draw a clock. He can't do it. And we let him be the president, and we let him wander around on the roof of the White House. And here's why I hate it. It's so funny. There's nothing funnier that's ever happened than this man reenacting that scene from The Office where Michael Scott goes to the roof. It's so funny. It shouldn't be funny, and I shouldn't be laughing at what the fascists are getting up to. And yet that's what he's doing. Meanwhile, the rest of his administration further cracking my ass up. Lindy texted me just today that Sean Duffy real world alumnus Sean Duffy / transportation secretary / acting NASA administrator, speaking of Neil deGrasse Tyson, wants to put a nuclear reactor on the moon. It raises the question, what's the moon made out of?
Time.
I hate it.
I know it's not fair. It's not fair.
It's not right. I'm running out of money. Every time I laugh, I'm supposed to donate $5. I don't have any money left.
It's also
God.
Like, it's so funny to think of real world alum Sean Duffy putting a nuclear reactor on the moon, while also myself watching currently the current season of Love Island US.
Yeah.
And imagining 30 years down the line, Austin is
Secretary of State.
Yeah.
He decides whether or not you get a passport. You know what's really sad about it too is that my recollection of Sean's season, he was like a bit of a bumpkin. He's from Wisconsin.
Yep.
But he had this arc on the show that really was endearing. Like he learned a lot, and he ended up going from being like ugh to being really cute because he was open-minded, and that's my recollection.
Yeah, I remember that too.
And now
he decided to.
He's gonna put a nuclear reactor on the
that
damn
thing
moon.
People love to say about how like you'll become conservative when you get older and have money.
Why would I do that?
Why would I do that?
By the way, I'm never gonna get old and have money because you guys took all of it.
You took it. So
I'm not gonna have the opportunity to become conservative about money because I don't have any.
You know what the saying should be? Oh, you'll have money when you get older if you become conservative.
Yeah, exactly. It's actually a double reverse. Triple Lutz into money. So that's what we hate.
This does close a loop for us on this podcast.
Yeah.
Sean Duffy announcing that he's putting a nuclear reactor on the moon. And by the way, I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is. I don't know what that means.
I don't know.
Is there nuclear dust on the moon?
They suck up the dust and they
it turns into energy?
It turns into, we use it to power ChatGPT, I guess.
Oh, Christ. Can I ask a follow-up question? Who owns the moon? You can't just put stuff on it. What do you mean?
No. Well, that's what I was going to say. It closes the loop of why they gave the moon a time zone.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
It explains everything. It explains everything. You can't just put stuff up there. Didn't Pizza Hut want to put up the Noid on the moon? And then everyone was like, you can't put the Noid on the moon. You don't own the moon. And they weren't allowed to do it. And now we're going to put a nuclear reactor up there?
What do you mean they wanted to put the Noid on the moon?
I don't know what I mean.
Is he a real guy?
Well, I don't fucking know what I mean. It's like they were going to broadcast a picture of the Noid on the moon. Or like shoot a really bright spotlight onto the moon. And it would have the Noid on it.
That's a great idea, and they should do that. That's the kind of idea that I like.
That's the kind of moon innovation this podcast is after. Forget the nuclear reactor stuff. Where's the Noid? And also, is the Noid Domino's? And is his name the Noid? I don't know anything anymore.
The Noid is Domino's, so it would be crazy if Pizza Hut put the Noid on the moon.
That would be unheard of for Pizza Hut to be in league with the Noid.
Whoa! Talk about shadow coup. What's it called? Whatever. It's funny you bring this up because I saw the moon for the first time the other day. Well, through a telescope, and I was able to see the moon's little wrinkles and spots because my neighbor has a telescope.
Oh, nice!
And so then I bought a Hama telescope for his birthday. You can just look at the moon. It's just up there, and you can see. And so then I was thinking about how the moon has geography. And then I was like, can I get a map of the moon? And then I thought, can I get a globe of the moon?
Can you?
Yes.
Oh.
And I'm gonna learn everything about the moon.
Okay. I love that. I have another question about the moon.
Yeah.
Here's the weirdest thing I think that the moon does.
Yeah.
If I may.
Yeah.
You know that thing where the moon looks really, really big? But then if you try to take,
yes.
But then you try to take a picture of it and it's tiny
and it says,
in all the photos.
Bye-bye.
And everyone's like, oh, it's an optical illusion. Your brain just wants it to be that big. What do you mean?
What do you mean?
What do you mean? Because why isn't it that big all the time? And why does it get tiny? What is this that the moon is doing? It's crazy.
Sorry, the moon is listening to my brain?
Hello? How are they linked? How do they know each other? It doesn't make any sense.
Look, Megan, you know what I think is the weirdest thing that the moon does? Is this true? When they say the dark side of the moon, does the moon not spin? Is the moon only in orbit, or does it have its own spin? Because if it doesn't spin, does that mean that half of the moon is always hidden and we don't even know who's there?
Is Karl Marx German?
Is that where the Noid is hiding?
Is that where the Noid is?
The dark side of the moon?
What's messed up? The only time I ever got a good grade in a science class, it was astronomy.
Yeah.
I took it at Seattle Central Community College. And to answer your question, I don't remember.
Yeah. I don't know.
I think that the sun reflects off of its face, and that's how we see the moon.
Yeah.
But it doesn't reflect off of its ass.
Right. But my question is, do its face and its ass switch places?
I don't think its face
like
and
how
its
the
ass.
Earth. I don't think so either. I think it's fixed and it just swings around in Earth's orbit, always with its face toward us and its ass
That's
toward.
why we always see its face, because it has little eyeballs and stuff. If you look at it, right? So we only ever see that.
They call it the Noid in the moon.
That's what they say. There's a movie about Andy Kaufman called that.
Yeah. And also that one with Reese Witherspoon, where she kisses one of the Londons and then he dies in the farm accident. Spoiler.
Rip.
Yep.
Well, that's 2 minutes hate and then some other stuff that was weird. We're gonna take a break maybe, and then we're gonna end the show.
Well,
it's funny because in between segments, you were like, at the end, can we talk about Trump walking around on the White House? And I was like, no. And then you were like, why are you mad? And I was like, that's my 2 minutes hate. And I wanted to keep it a surprise.
I'm so glad you handled it perfectly. It did not occur to me that was going to be your 2 minutes hate. I thought that you had like some other surprise that you were going to like some surprise material. But my first thought was that you don't like it when I introduce things at the last minute.
I don't. Yeah, sorry.
And make the show longer. So I thought you were mad about that. No. But then you weren't mad about that. No. But I did not.
Because you were trying to scoop me.
Oh no. Oh, I figured it out.
About the moon?
Well, I figured it out. I Googled it.
Okay, Galileo. Let them have it.
The moon does rotate, but this is crazy. I believe in God now. Just kidding. The moon does rotate, but it rotates at the same rate that it orbits the Earth, and so the same side of the moon always faces us.
Well, that's a missed opportunity.
I agree.
So show us his butt.
It does mean that we've never seen his butt, and the Noid could be there.
Okay, Dominoes, your move.
And science claims that a living God did not teach the moon to do that, but in fact, it was gravity.
Do you remember that was one of Bill O'Reilly's greatest hits? Was that he had Bill Nye the Science Guy on, and he was like, "Yeah, of course I have proof God exists. Tides go in, tides go out. Explain that." And Bill Nye was like, "Okay, I will. Yeah. Explain it right now. Do you actually want me to explain it? Seems like you don't." Anyway. A classic. Speaking of the moon and what the moon gets up to. Anyway, end of show. Hope you enjoyed. Super insane today. Extra deranged.
I think that's what the people want.
That's what they're clamoring for.
You reposted it. I didn't like it. I didn't find it particularly. I found it a little bit offensive when Las Culturistas said that everyone shouldn't have a podcast. And then I thought, you know what? All these people have a podcast. Well, guess what? Text Me Back Pod can give something that all those podcasts can't give, which is us talking and being ourselves.
Yeah, no other podcast offers that.
No other podcast offers us talking, Megs. Except
so
for
true.
When we guest on other podcasts.
Yeah.
But I think that it was a reminder that the field is large and busy. And the best thing we can do, which I've always said, just be as weird as we can.
Yep. Patreon.com/textmebackpod if you liked it.
Because then
subscribe.
I think it's fair to say that this podcast is not like any other podcast.
That's very fair to say. You know, to this day, people ask me what it's about, and I go, well,
it's about is a shrew a frog? Answer the question.
Getting to the bottom of the top questions, such as, what's the moon made out of?
Is it made out of crazy bread?
Is the Noid there? Science can't answer everything, you know? Other questions such as, why would Sean Duffy say that? I don't know if our listeners know this, but Sean Duffy married Rachel from the San Francisco Real World, who I think briefly dated Puck before moving on with LA.
And she also did a fake left learning arc where she learned that she learned to love Pedro. Yeah. But then she just swung right back to the far right.
Yeah. And now she's like a trad wife pundit. She's on Fox News a lot and they have like 14 kids or something. Yeah. Not that I'm judging, I guess, but I am a little bit. It's a lot.
A little bit. Shut up.
Kids. I'd like to have 14 chihuahuas, but you don't see me crying, you know?
That's right.
Thanks for listening to the show. Please support it. Patreon.com/textmebackpod. We love our little community. We are so lucky to have a community of people who support it so that we can keep making it. We'd love to make it even more. So the more support we get, the more we can make. If you're on the fence about maybe switching over to an annual subscription, that actually helps us a lot. So feel free to do that. Maybe want to bump it up to $12 a month. You could be part of the Freakaconda class. You can get ad-free listening, gang. Okay.
Something to think about.
And we're always open to ideas for Patreon subscribers if there's something like behind the scenes you want to know more about or that we should post. You know what we haven't done in a while is our very real texts, our actual texts.
I know. That was my job. I'll throw one together.
Something to think about. And we're going to get better at doing those after darks. So we're going to start doing those monthly.
That's right.
If I promise, I'll be forced to do it.
That's what they're saying.
That's what they're saying. You know what else they're saying? Shrill rewatch question mark.
No, we gotta do it.
To her?
I really want to hear your thoughts on season 2. In fact, I'm desperate.
Yes, I have not watched it yet to this day. So thank you for supporting us. Sometimes Day Job LLC / Book Job LLC gets in the way of doing the goodies. So we really appreciate you being patient with us as we kind of figure out some of the ways that we can make the Patreon worth your while. But
yeah,
even if you don't want any goodies and you just want to support the show, it's a great way to do it. So thank you.
Please remember that Meagan and I are the Leonardo da Vinci of podcasting, and you all are the rich merchant class of Venice.
Yes, you are the Medicis, or maybe some other family whose name I don't remember.
And you're not evil. Like, I think the Medicis were kind of evil.
Probably. You don't get rich by being nice. They were powerful bankers and rulers of Florence.
That's what I meant.
That's what we said, actually.
That's what we said. Firenze.
So, sorry, just really quick, can I say something about that?
Yeah.
Why do we let other countries tell us how to say their cities' names? I was thinking about this because, the Australians are always insisting you pronounce it Melbourne. Why? I let you come here and say New York. I don't get up your ass about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I kind of agree. Like, I'm not even really directing this at the people from the other countries, but I feel like liberal white people will be like, can you have some respect and call it an enchilada? And it's like,
it's pronounced Barcelona.
But it's like, but I'm just saying it in my accent.
Yeah.
Like,
if somebody whose first language was Spanish came here and said Seattle with an accent, I would not be like, it's actually Seattle.
You have to say it Seattle.
It's pronounced water.
And this is not, I'm not arguing in favor of any kind of cultural insensitivity. And if a person,
I am.
if a person was like, please pronounce my name a certain way, of course. But like, I guess here's what I'm saying. I don't want people with beautiful accents to come try to pronounce English words in our horrible tongue.
In our heinous little whatever it is dialect that we're popping off
say
here.
Say it with your beautiful vowels.
Say it however you want. I understand what you mean. Yeah. It's fine. I don't care. Meanwhile, the British are all upset about how we pronounce things. It's like, listen, we all lived through Mexico week. We heard how you said guacamole.
Yeah, come on.
I'm not having it from you.
I'm not having it from the British.
That's the episode. We're gonna go now. Okay.
Bye.
Mwah. That's how they say it in Spain.
Text me back. Text me back. Text me back. At once. Text me back.
Wherever you go, whatever they get into, from chill time to everyday adventures, protect your dog from parasites with Credelio Quattro. For full safety information, side effects, and warnings, visit CredeliaQuattroLabel.com. Consult your vet or call 1-888-545-5973. Ask your vet for Credelio Quattro and visit QuattroDog.com.